Hello and welcome back to Bits and Bobs. Now today's video I'm going to be updating and expanding my Sixpence date run. Here's my Sixpence date run as of current, and it starts, you will see here, at 1920, the first year of 50% silver coins. It goes along through all the different designs and monarchs, right up to 1967, the last year they were into circulation. The only one I'm missing is 1952, but apart from the 52, I have the full set from 1920, meaning all the 50% silver ones, and then most of, apart from that one as I say, of the Cupro nickel sixpences. So, it is time to expand the date run. And also, swap these out from a black tray because I prefer the red ones, and I'm going to use this black tray for something else. For my main pre-decimal date runs, they will all be matching and be the nice velvet red. So, firstly, what we have to do is get some more trays, which is why I've bought these 2 new nice red trays to expand the Sixpence date run. The date run begins in 1816, as if we look here in the book, sixpences. 1816 is the modern ones from George III. There are a few older ones, but they're different style. So 1816 is the first one we have, and then we'll carry on from there through the date run. Let's open up the first tray. So here is the tray, and as said, we're going to be starting with 1816, right here for the first one. Now, I don't have an 1816 sixpence, and so what I do when I don't have the coin is this. I will pop a piece of card in there like that to denote what the coin is and that I still need it. So an 1816 sixpence, the card is in there, meaning I still need it, and if I'm lucky enough to get one, when I get one, I will remove the card and put the coin in. So the next step in this date run process is to fill in every single square with a bit of card, unless of course I have that coin. If you're doing a date run, make sure to check for the NIFCs, as you don't want to put in, for instance, 1873, but then find out that 1873 wasn't actually made, although I believe it is. Well, in what has been only a short amount of time for you, and almost an hour for me, I have now filled in every single gap with a ticket to say the sixpence I need of this tray. Now, as I'm sure you can very well see, there are only a few gaps for actual coins, and quite a lot of white tickets, but no worries, as the fun is in collecting, and so there's lots more coins to buy and collect, which is always fun. However, there are some gaps, as we can see, so let's take a look at the coins that will be going into these gaps. So here is a line of all the sterling sixpences that I own, the ones that are obviously too old for my date run at the moment. So the oldest one I have is here. This is a George III sixpence, as we can see, and is from 1817. You look to the top left, I've left a gap for the 1817, which I do have, as you saw. Here is the George III portrait, pretty worn. There is actually also a hole at the top, so it's probably been made into jewellery at some point. We've got the legend around though, and the date still visible there, 1817. My oldest sixpence coin, the second year these were made, and we can see a lovely design here with the royal shield and the garter surrounding with the crown atop. So, let's get the first one into the date run. And there we go, the first coin added into the new red tray sixpence date run. We then have no more up until 1855, so quite a lot of gaps there to fill in the early part of the date run. 1855 though is the next date I have, and here it is. This is of course now a Victorian coin, so I have no William III or George IV coins, and one George III. This is a young head of Victoria sixpence we can see here. It's a bit dirty and a bit darkened, a bit worn as well, but it's not too bad. Looking to the reverse, we can see the date there at the bottom, 1855, with a little bit of zooming in. And of course the design there, the new wreath design here around the words sixpence, with the crown at the top, done by Jean-Baptiste Merlin. So, the second one, let's get it into the date run. There we go, 2 coins added to the date run. Next up, the next one we have is the 1872. That will be another young head Victoria, as we can see here. This one's less dirty, but still quite worn, but a very, very nice coin, as you can see, with the legend fully intact, and the young head or bun head portrait of Victoria there. Flipping it over, we can see it has the same design, with the crown and the wreath around the words in the middle. This time though, the date is obviously different. This is the 1872 sixpence. Now if we slowly zoom in to above the date, you can see another number there. This is the number 67, and that's because during about the 1850s to the 1870s, coins such as the sixpence and shilling had die numbers. So die number 67 was used to mint this sixpence, and of course the dies were changed as the die became worn, and therefore wouldn't strike a perfect coin anymore. So die number 67 for this 1872 sixpence. That can now go into the tray. If you were going to be really, really serious, you could collect the full date run and the full set of each die number, so you'd have to collect 67 plus of just that one year. I don't think anyone's attempted that yet, so that might be a huge endeavour for some collector one day. Now I have no 1873, but it does exist as I suggested to earlier. The next one, as we can see here, is the 1874 that I need. The same design for the same era. Once again, we can see a lovely condition coin with a lovely design. I love old sterling coins that I've mentioned before in previous videos. This one has some nice toning here at the top, or some nice sort of dirt, bringing out the legend a bit more at the top. And is once again quite worn though, but still all the features are very, very visible. And if we zoom in here again, we can see a die number there, what looks to be, without any magnification, for my eyes, I believe that's die number 14, but please do comment down below if you can see anything once I've zoomed it in during the edit. And you can also see all the milling on the edges intact on these coins, and I quite like the edge view, like that, when you see like the coin, because obviously when you usually look at it, it's just flat on, but to see some of the raised details on the side is often quite cool to sort of see, the design sort of stand out a bit like that. Anyway, 1874, now into the date run. So we've got 4 in there, and there's one more space now on this tray. So I'll have 5 out of 77 on the first tray. Not the best, but as I say, that means lots of room left to do some collecting. This one though is a very, very nice coin as an individual piece. This is a beautiful, beautiful 1891 sixpence. As we can see, the wear on this coin is very, very minimal. In fact, it has not been worn down at all. The main damage to the coin is a little bit of dirt in the wreath, and you can see some hairline scratches as well if you look very closely on the surface or the fields of the coin. Nonetheless, it is a truly wonderful example of the Victorian sixpence piece. Also no longer features the young head portrait of the Queen or the bun head. This is now the Jubilee head by Sir Joseph Edgar Boehm. As we can see here, the Queen with her small crown and veil facing to the left still, with earrings, necklaces, brooches and stuff on her just dress and stuff. So lots and lots of detail here, and it is still of course in very nice condition as well, as I mentioned, especially that reverse and the edge as well. A very, very lovely coin, and a worthy 5th coin to the date run of the first tray, 1891. Now this tray goes all the way up through the later Victorian ones to 1900, so potentially it was a bit annoying that we could have had one more on, then have finished the Victoria with this tray and started a new Edward, George and Elizabeth tray. However, there'll be one more Victorian coin, the 1901, for the next tray, and then we'll start off with the Edward coins. But because this tray is full, of course we're going to need a new tray. Let's unbox it then, the second tray that I got. Here we go, another one with these small compartments, as it was of course still for the sixpences. So, the first date as mentioned for this one will be 1901. I don't have that, and a lot of others there I don't have as well. So the next step again will be to add all the paper or the card inserts here for the dates I don't have. Let's do that. So there we go. I've added all the last sterling dates in, the little tickets there with a few gaps as we can see that I've got. What I'll do now is add all the other coins from the other tray and that one paper for 1952, add it all in, we can have a look at it and fill in the last dates to update the sixpence date run. So let's fill these coins in now. There's the coins from the other tray, and now I'll add the last few sterling coins to the top of the tray. The first up is this. This is an Edwardian sixpence, my only Edwardian sixpence. Very, very, very worn, but we can see here just about that it is from 1910, so that will go into the 1910 spot up there. The next one up is a 1913. This is a George V one. Still a worn coin, but the date much more visible here, 1913. And as I said, a George V coin, so that will go in 1913. Next up, you can see obviously what's missing already from the hole, so it'll be a 1915. Here it is. This one's in much better condition. We've got all the detail there still intact, and the date. A lovely George V sixpence once again. Very nice coin. Into 1915. And the last one missing, 1918. The end of the First World War. George V sterling silver sixpence. A very, very nice coin to then complete this tray. So this tray has a lot of different coins, and I'll give you an overview. We start off with a gap for the Victorian one, then the Edwardian coins, of which I have one, the 1910. Moving on to George V, we have the 1913, 15, 18 for the sterling coins. Then moving on to 50%, I've got every single 50% sixpence. 20, 21, 22, 23, all through the 20s and 30s we see the lion design and the oak leaf and acorn design. Moving then on to the initials design of George III, GRI, George Rex Imperator, George King Emperor. The initials design have all those in 50% silver. Then the next design is where it changed from this to this. Get rid of the I because he's no longer Emperor of India. We've got those 49, 50, 51. 52 is the only one missing. Then I have all the Queen Elizabeth II ones with this design here with the 4 national flowers. All of those right up to 1967, the last year. And I have added a space here just on the bottom row for the 1970, the one that was only released in proof. So there we go, an overview of my sixpence collection. Only 16 coins to go on that tray, but as I said, quite a few to go here. 72 plus 16 is 88, so 88 more sixpences to collect and add to the date run. Lots of fun to be had over the next few months and years, collecting some more sixpences. Please do comment down below your favourite design of the sixpence, like, comment, share and subscribe, and I'll see you soon for more coins on Bits and Bobs. Bye!